Hello, my name is MrSpaml, and today we're going to cover the latest and greatest Unturned Devlog. We've got Devlog 16, he's done a lot this time, as you can see the video's 10 minutes 47, so it's a lot more in depth than the last one. Panda and MTN have already covered this, and I think they're the ones who's covered it, but obviously I'm giving you a different perspective on everything, so if you've already seen their updates on it, feel free to watch this one anyway, because I'll give a different view on everything. Obviously they're more PvP. Whereas I'm a lot more RP. Well, a lot more RP. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm not actually going to cover the text bit this time. I'm just going to get straight onto the video because obviously it's a 10 minute 47 video. I don't want to sit here for half an hour. Let me just make sure volume's all good.
Oh. Hello.
He did it again with the hello.
As you can see, it's very snowy now. After the last update, I was wanting to work on tire tracks for the cars, specifically for mud and grass and snow. So I decided to start working on that, and next thing you know, Calgary is super snowy too. So that might have been a bad idea, but I'm quite happy with how it turns out. But
the snow does look pretty cool, but I will say the trees look really weird. I'm not sure if that's just me, but there's something a bit off looking about the trees. I don't really like it. But yeah,
here, so let's
continue.
turn the engine on. Now you can turn the engine on and off. And if we take a look outside, you can see some of the changes to the car that have happened over the last week, or I guess last 3 weeks. There's some steam coming out of the car exhaust since it's cold out. That is really cool.
The steam coming out the exhaust.
Bigger trucks will have more exhaust, and you know what to expect. As well as the headlights now, it's they don't go into full bright mode when you turn the car on. There's the daytime running lights, and when you turn the low beams on.
Now that sort of stuff is good for RP yet again. I will say, a lot of Unturned 4 or Unturned 2 or whatever you want to call it, a lot of the features are very much brilliant for RP. I'm not sure if he's thinking about RP when he's making it, but he's doing a brilliant job, and I cannot wait to make movies and stuff in Unturned 4.
That's when you'll notice the other running lights come on. Like your brake lights, and if you hold down the headlight key you can turn on your high beams. For most of the time you probably use low beams though, and that goes for the interior stuff too. Like if we turn the headlights on, you can see some of the heads-up display turns on as well. That's the speedometer if we drive around a little bit.
Oh yeah. I do like the approach with literally, I'm not sure if he's going to have much HUD, but very little HUD games or even no HUD games I do really like. Because it just adds to the immersion of Unturned.
I'm thinking of doing a few other things like that too, specifically the fuel gauge. I'm thinking to put it there in the car so that way passengers can see it. Oh, you can see the hand pointing into that. Let's see, what else have I been working on? One change is now you can see the signal arrows inside. This is probably not the most important feature, but I keep talking about it. You can also turn on the hazard lights.
I do like this. It's so pointless but so brilliant, and I cannot wait to be pulling people over for not indicating and stuff as a cop or whatever. Oh,
and you probably also noticed that there's the glass in the car now, and it does look quite nice with some of the reflections from certain angles.
Shiny.
It's darker when you're looking.
Also, just look at the snow going in. That is brilliant.
In from the outside, so it's a bit tinted. You get a good view out still, but you're a little bit obscured. And then maybe some fancy cars will have fully black rear windows to keep prying eyes away. And you can of course open these.
I love that so much. Those windows that go up and down and actually work, because then you can pull up to fast food places, roll down your window. Oh, it's gonna be so good. God's sake, can you just release it already, Nelson?
This goes into one of the big things I've been working on, was cleaning up a lot of the code from the previous update.
Audio
one
change
thing
as
with
well?
Developing the game is you have to make it once to know how to do it properly. So the first version was kind of the messy version, and then I was going through and cleaning everything up. And so one aspect of that was splitting everything up into components. And so I talked the last update about how I want to fit vehicles that you ride on horseback or something into this whole system, and so part of that is making it so that you...
Did you say ride on horseback? I mean, I guess it is a survival game in all fairness. I guess you can ride around on horses. Confirmed, sort of.
You can selectively choose which pieces of logic you want to use for your different vehicles. So one aspect of that is the pressurization component. So right now that's used for, like, when the window opens and closes, you can hear the outside audio. But for a vehicle like a submarine, that'll be used to keep the water out. And so
Submarine. I know MTM pointed this out, and he made a joke about putting it in the title and stuff, but submarines, now that is going to be interesting. Also, I've noticed that he hasn't shown anything about water yet, so I'm wondering if water is like going to act the same as in Unturned 3, because Unturned 3 water does look really nice in Ultra, but it just kills your frames. Hopefully it doesn't kill your frames and it's just permanently beautiful, you know what I mean?
So you won't be drowning if you're in your submarine and you have all the windows and hatches closed. Although I don't think submarines have windows. I have a couple notes here to keep on track. What was the other? Oh yeah, and then something like seating, that was also moved to components. So when you sit down in the car, your character is actually very loosely coupled to the vehicle concept. Instead, you're just registered as sitting. And so then that'll be reused for things like mounted turrets, or just like a bed that you can lie down on, or furniture.
Also confirmed.
So then, driving around with the engine on, you can see that it leaves these nice tracks in the snow.
Oh, that looks so cool. And obviously it's a lot more drifty because you're on snow and stuff. The exhaust just spit out some flames. It's so cool.
As well as you don't squeal everywhere now. It has the sound of...
I will say though, the snow does look a bit like dotty. Like the dots seem too big and it doesn't seem smooth enough like the wheels. But I'm sure he's fixing it, so I'll just let him do his thing and trust that he's going to do it.
Rice falling on plastic is the sound of the kind of gravelly sliding for the snow drifting.
That's pretty cool. Rice and plastic.
This is probably good for the engine. I was holding on the handbrake there in case that wasn't clear. And you can see that as the snow's... Well, you can't see the snow falling right now because I haven't added that yet, but you can see the snow filling in over time. But the tracks stay around for a good amount of time, and if it wasn't snowing...
That's so cool.
I mean, obviously it isn't snowing right now, but if snowing were added and it wasn't snowing, then the tracks would just stay there. So we can drive around with that. Oh, and then one of the really cool things about this that I've wanted to do since I added the puddles to Unturned 3 is if we head over here, whoops. Okay, so there's the collision stuff. There's a bit...
What the heck was that?
Of an edge there. I just put down this simple road, and so you can see that this cube is stopping the snow from falling onto the road.
You see, just details like that, that's going to be so good.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. With Unturned 3, you couldn't interact with anything in the car because your interact was overridden to just exit. Whereas now, one of the other changes I made was making it so that when you want to get out of the car, you have to actually look at the door. I'll probably have another hotkey for exiting the car. But this means that there could be like the hazard lights button to press it, or tuning the radio, or maybe turning the lights on in the car. Radio?
Now that, hopefully he has like loads of music just built into the game. Oh, that's so cool. Damn it.
Car when it's nighttime. So that's going to open up a lot of other options, especially for cars that like you're walking around, like an RV or something. You want to be able to interact with stuff inside. So now you actually have that option. And also the in and out animations are... Let's show that again.
The character still looks really funny though. I don't like the look of him at the minute.
Those animations are a lot faster and a little bit more polished now. But we're walking around down here, and we've got the concrete sounds, and this doesn't really look like grass, but before heading back out to the snow, and whoops, where that went.
You really should cut these videos, not gonna lie to you, Nelson.
That's probably fine. And so this also applies to bases. So if you build a base in Unturned 4, and obviously base building is, but I promise this will be in because this is really cool. If you build a base, you'll see the rain and puddles on the top floor, and the snow, but it won't be inside your base. Same with the tunnels in Unturned 3. If you go in the metro, you see the rain puddles. But now, like, you could collect some snow and then melt it on the roof of your base.
Collect some snow and then melt it on the roof of your base. Definitely survival focused, but I like it. I like it.
By collecting it up there. Oh, whoops. I also didn't do the animations for the ignition keys or anything yet, so I still need to do that. For the grass, I did something similar to the snow, but right now the weather transitions aren't in place. That's one thing I want to work on for the next update, so we can start to see, you know how in Unturned 3 it's sort of like Yukon is the snow map and Russia is the autumn map. So right now I'm thinking that there will be certain areas that are like a specific biome, whatever the word is. Instead, the seasons will change over the course of the days, and you'll be able to see the snow come down and cover up the trees and everything.
Also pretty cool. He just said the seasons will change. Now that, like, around winter, I'm not sure if it's going to be like real life time or just its own in-game seasons. Hopefully it's in-game seasons, because being constantly in snow during real life winter would be a pain.
Then of course there's the speedometer inside now. Oh, the cat just knocked something off the counter. Here's, I talked last update about the collision stuff, and that also works with the interior-exterior audio, so we crash and, but there's also scraping, so if we slide along the edge here, whoops, let's just back up a bit to get in this gap. So you can see that there's some effects for collisions and stuff, and if we go really fast into a tree, hopefully, cross your fingers that we don't break something. But yeah, so there's different collision effects now. I was hoping to have the passenger animation things ready for this preview, but there is still some engine level changes I have to make. That's one of the things that's really exciting about using Unreal instead of Unity, is already like the engine, I've made a whole bunch of changes to better accommodate Unturned.
You see, just all these details with like collision and snow is going to make the game just feel a lot more natural to play, because Unturned 3 is so clunky.
I know last time I also forgot to go off the ramp, so let's back up here and let's go off this ramp over there.
Whoa, mid-air. No.
There we go. This hill is also pretty steep, that's why we can't drive up it.
Oh, he loses traction.
This car
Cool.
isn't the best at going cross-roading or off-roading. So if we try and go up this hill over here, we'll probably get stuck. It doesn't have very much clearance, as you can see. But something like a 4x4 truck with good suspension would get up there better.
Okay, so Jeeps and stuff are actually going to perform better on the road.
Sort of
I don't think
chassis.
they really do that in Unturned 3. So this is going to make different vehicles useful for different things, and I suppose like an off-road vehicle wouldn't be very good on normal roads, whereas a vehicle like this is brilliant on normal roads. I don't know.
Car grating against the ground there. I'm not sure if it just makes sparks on snow, but it looks cool. Yeah, so the car's not happy going across that. You don't want to go off-roading in this car. Let me just check my list here. I know I'm a little bit sporadic. Okay, I'll just show you one other thing. Is that now when you're on sloped surfaces, your legs will adapt to the surface.
Little details like this, but the character model right now does not look good at all.
I know a lot of games have this, I just think it's neat to see it in Unturned now. But you can see the leg going up there. But yeah, thanks for tuning in this week. Hope to have more for you soon, and I think this is really starting to get pretty polished-ish for the cars. So I'm hoping to have some sort of vehicle demo. Right now my plan is to strip out some of the stuff that's very work in progress still. Like right now the
Vehicle demo. Maybe I can make a video on that, hopefully, and we have access to it.
all the animations and clothes still need redoing, so I'm thinking of just trying to get rid of everything that isn't the cars and starting to give it out to a few people, but we'll see what happens with that. We know
Starting
that
to give it out to
my
a few people. Nelson, please. Please, just please. Just let me test it.
timelines haven't exactly come super true yet.
Steady on, Nelson.
Talk to you next one. Bye-bye.
Alright, so a lot just happened right there. I'm really looking forward to actually getting to test all this beautiful stuff in game. Look at that. Like, he's even holding a gun in this screenshot. There's loads of audio details, and I just cannot wait to get right in there and to play the game. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button, and I'll see you in the next video.